is other beings existing, and that would be on other planets and, you know, advanced technology to whatever degrees. So there might be a few that become a little fearful because of this, but because of origins existing within, it's not going to be fear entirely. It's going to be part of that little sample of the origins. And just like a tree root system, even if you find the smallest of the smallest root, that root leads to the tree itself in the core. So even nature expresses this simplistic but very true realization that all beings have. So, as far as IQ, there is no IQ. Eternity exists. Because eternity exists, IQ is irrelevant. You cannot calibrate eternity. And then you have an eternal amount of universes and existences. We've only lived on one planet for, well, however long we know. Of course, we have past lives as well. So the debate with Larry King has only sparked interest. It hasn't done anything else. I'm sure many persons to acknowledgement values, it was more of a joke. I left a comment, which is pending on this discussion on CNN, the website itself. It's at the very bottom of the list, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. The actuality is far more effective. I saw one person saying that we should open our eyes. Stephen Hawking is perhaps the smartest man in the world, or, well, he's the smartest man in the world, but perhaps the smartest man in the universe. What he had to share was nothing to share at all. I've heard more information from my brother, a friend that I have, than what Stephen Hawking had to share. He didn't acknowledge that UFOs in history were documented and existent. He indirectly denounced that all UFO sightings known in the history of man and to this date are fake, which is to say every single person on the planet and in the history of this planet weren't seeing UFOs. It was something natural. So it was a smear case. It was a smear scenario. Terrible on Hawking's part, considering he's supposedly the smartest man in the world. I looked into his information, and he's got a lot. He's got a lot on his portfolio. He's known as a British theoretical physicist. His science career spans over 4 years. I'm reading from Wikipedia. He is an honorary fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, a lifetime member of Pontifical Academy of Sciences, and in 2009 was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. What? The highest civilian award in the United States. I'm sorry, but whatever. Okay, so he's got an intense portfolio. He's not supposedly well, I mean, he's definitely world famous, but he's not like the most famous man known. But if anything, as far as the stretch of college, science, everything under the sun that is of an evolutional manner, subject, topic, Stephen Hawking is number one. And based on what he had to say with ETs, extremely unimpressive, very sloppy. The whole thing about Arizona and them being for the first of alien contact, if any, I guess this is irony. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, IQ is a measurement of interaction itself. That's the true version of IQ. The true reality and actuality of IQ is interaction quality. Your quality of interaction equals quality of life, quality of evolution, and interaction with other beings that are existent and of higher realms, higher beings. It's not a test about can you put the cubes in this order this fast, can you find the missing thing in this picture. It's all based on unnatural circumstances as it is, and I've heard that to get into Mensa you have to have an IQ over 130 to partake in absolutely pointless math. You don't become a better being through college or math unless you're going to a college that is based on philosophy, spirituality. As a start, but the essentiality and actuality is that eternity exists, and true interaction level, true intelligence, is based on the interaction level with eternity and the actuality. All existences and all universes exist. Separate, yes, but they still exist. Interaction varies with all other universes and existences. So there's also a calibration level. It's a level based on values of realizational rates, how many angles can be viewed and considered in real time on subject matters, even if subjects are being jumped. So IQ tests, as it is, are performing on a not even an analytical scale. Analytical means to say, I'm observing, taking in, and then expressing. Whereas this is dealing in numbers and I wouldn't say trick questions, but there is such thing as deceptive math. Because chaos math as it is pointless. If you want to crunch some true numbers, Mensa's possible. But if you want to crunch some true numbers, getting C and T mixed up with crunch and true, bring up the subject realization and see how far the person can take it. Because eternity exists, whatever level of articulations they can express, angles express, considerations in real time, understandings that are considered and calibrated for however long that person can keep processing, that's the basis of that being's ability to interact with realization itself. And whatever else corresponds, whatever isn't corresponding is factored in as well. Real-time calibration. So the actuality is that humanity is going to have a very fresh start in life. The whole idea of who's smart, who's been to college, whatever, no. Everyone's going to be starting at pretty much the same baseline. The difference is how interactive you were with yourself and life. Of course, then the question of realisticness and the actuality is factored in, but everyone is going to also discover and realize in 12 eternal ways. So that's the instantaneous. That's not even the actuality. Well, that is the actuality, but that's with all beings. That's the baseline. So that's the baseline. The actuality is that everyone on the planet is going to realize themselves in 12 eternal ways to the very origins of this universe. And because the hybrid existence is going to be interacting with this space and existence, and we're going to be interacting with it, it's very possible those quantificational factors are going to be calibrated in as well. So that also means 12 eternal ways of understanding the hybrid existence itself. Now, it's then that comprehension and interaction level will be rated. That's what a true, honest rating system is understood fundamentally on. Not to judge, not to say you're lower or less, it is dependent on you. Do unto self. What is your interaction level? We don't judge, we don't criticize, we don't opinionate. Do unto self. Whatever you do to yourself is what you do. But in natural settings, the baseline of dimensions of all the universes in existence in all of alls is either from 93 or 98 and up. That's the dimension value. We're sitting at 33 dimensions. We're looking at 3 times less of the actuality itself based upon all other universes and existences. Does it make any sense that all universes and existences should start from 20 or maybe less dimensions and some starting at the thousands? No. That is where an equilibrium, a balance can be understood fundamentally, honestly.